10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
15.4 is open and ready for fitness as we are tackling handstand push-ups for the first time in the CrossFit Games Open as we move quickly to the first round of 3 and 3. And Bill, the number one thing off the page is this standard of tape line. They cannot fly through these as fast as they want to.
You know, everyone knew the handstand push-ups would eventually come in here, but it's like the question has always been, how do you control the standard? This controls the standard right here. So if either of these athletes have any sort of a bend in their back, they're going to miss that line. If they try to go wide with their hands, they're going to miss the line.
And right off the bat, we're seeing something between our two athletes. They have 3 power cleans to do between the 3 handstands, 6 and 9. Josh Bridges having a lot of confidence, going strict already, but Scott PANCHIK's breaking up his power cleans early.
And I think that's super smart for Scott. He doesn't need to blow out early. He knows that Josh has an advantage right away on the handstand push-up. So what Scott has to do is keep a good pace that he can stay consistent through this entire set, because this event comes down to the handstand push-up. Hands down, hands down.
Josh Bridges done with his 3rd and final set of power cleans as they will move on to 12 handstand push-ups. Josh still opting for the strips as Scott PANCHIK is kipping.
And that's perfect, that idea, because what the kip does is it allows you to use the mass of your legs to really jolt that body upward, saving the time on your shoulders, saving that drive off your handstand push-up. And look what just happened there. He was able to get all those reps, but what happened with Josh, he was getting no reps. And that's what you do not want to have happen. So the guys that think that they're normally used to just flying through handstand push-ups, they really need to make every rep count here.
Done through the round of 12 handstand push-ups, moving on to 6 cleans. So in this second series, we'll go 12 handstand push-ups, 6 cleans, 15, 6, 18, and 6. As we just passed the 2-minute mark, we only have 6 minutes remaining. It's definitely the shortest event we've had so far for these AMRAPs. And that might help make them push the paces maybe a bit more than they wanted to.
It's going to lull them. In all of these workouts that we've had, this particular open has lulled people into areas that they aren't really comfortable. This particular workout, though, even though it's short time frame, isn't really an aerobic capacity workout. This is a muscular fatiguing workout. And you can see with Josh Bridges there on the left, he's starting to slow down.
Well, what Josh has to do is, we've talked, before we've had the box, so shorter athletes with smaller arms can go super wide and all they have to lock out. Now, this tape line, this standard is dictated to the athlete specifically, and when Josh wanted to go wider with his hands,
shorten up his height,
he couldn't get his feet over the line, so he had to bring him back in.
So guess what? All you athletes at home, the key to the workout here is you need to have your hands shoulder width apart when you're doing that pressing. That's going to allow you to get that maximum height, and that's the part that's killing Josh right here. Scott, a lot slower. He's not as tired, but he's able to get himself all the way up over that line. That's what's saving him.
And the thing that saved Scott in the very beginning was he's been kipping since 3. Josh went strict all the way through 12.
And like we all know in gymnastic movements, once you hit the wall in the gymnastic movement, it isn't that you can rest or slow down. You have no choice but to stop. You have to stop and sit and wait until you can recover. And that's the worst thing, the most disheartening thing when you're actually in a race.
Scott PANCHIK on the right, Josh Bridges on the left. Scott holding on to a 10-rep lead as he'll break as these athletes are on to the round of 18 handstand push-ups. They'll have 6 more cleans after this before they reach the round 21.
Now, if you watch both these athletes, Scott's really doing it now up there in the right shirt. He's resting on his head. That's where he's saving himself. So he's taking the weight off of his shoulders and just allows himself to get a big kip, extend those arms, lock out, and come right back down and rest those shoulders again. The less time under tension is going to really save him in the later part of this workout.
Scott on to his final round of 6 cleans before he moves on to the round of 21 handstand push-ups. So here's the crazy thing. With the short break on the power cleans, it's almost like they're constantly on the wall. Let's talk about how many reps they've done so far. Scott has done 63 handstand push-ups, and we're only at the 430 mark.
And we haven't had, up to this point, the most handstand push-ups that we've done in any workout has been 50. So we're already well past, and that was in a regional. So we are well past that. And for those athletes that really get up in these higher rounds, I tell you what, you are going to be doing a ton of handstand push-ups. Get ready to show folding ball shoulders.
Scott PANCHIK opening up a huge lead on Josh Bridges. 3 minutes remaining. Now, Josh is known to love pain. He can push through pretty much any workout there is. But there comes a time where it doesn't matter how hard you can work if the work you are trying to do just isn't there.
Isn't there. When it comes to muscle fatigue, it's not about pain. It's just the muscle just doesn't want to fire anymore. So you can't will yourself through that. So this is a matter of really being smart and intelligent as they're working their way through each of these rounds.
2.5 minutes remaining for 15.4. And it's a good thing these guys do the event because our predictions were completely off from the beginning of this as Scott PANCHIK is opening up nearly a 15-rep lead on Josh Bridges.
And it's all about getting as tall as possible. So again, the straighter you are, and you can see Josh has a little bit of a bend to his body, and that's hurting him. Any sort of break at that midline is going to shorten that height, and you can't have that. Whereas Scott's very straight, very strict as he's going up for that handstand push-up. Scott
PANCHIK done with 21 handstand push-ups. 2 minutes remaining in this event. On to 9 cleans at 185 pounds as Josh Bridges is trying to get through his round of 18. So Scott PANCHIK might get back to the wall before Josh can get on.
And again, the cleans, it's not that this is really hard for these guys, but you figure when you get up into these higher rounds, you are going to end up doing a handful of these cleans. And it's enough just to kind of kick you in the chest. How tired are you going to be? What are you going to do to that midline as you work your way up there?
Josh Bridges trying to finish up his round of 18 as Scott PANCHIK is on to the round of 24. Bill, 84 handstand push-ups he's already done moving into this round of 24.
We've all done the handstand workout where we've gone down. We've come from a nice big number and chipped our way back down. It's very mentally fatiguing. Not just physically fatiguing, but mentally fatiguing to have to add to it every time when you're tired. Oh man, and the shoulders are just burning right now. Mine is screaming just watching this.
Josh Bridges making a valiant effort, trying to go touch and go. And you know what? He can do that because it is muscle fatigue, not fatigue.
Right.
So for him to go touch and go, he needs it. But it's all Scott PANCHIK, 134 reps in with just about 30 seconds remaining.
Look at Scott, how he's resting on his head. That's perfect. He's actually taking a breather at the bottom. He's making sure he's getting fully extended, making sure the feet get up over that tape, making sure every rep is counting. I don't think he's had one miss or no rep this entire time, whereas Josh, he's still getting no rep.
Scott PANCHIK, 2 reps left with 10 seconds to go to get out of the round of 24. And Scott PANCHIK, 5 seconds remaining, trying to squeeze every rep possible. And with 1 second to go, Scott PANCHIK, unofficial score of 147 reps, will take 15.4.
Oh man, talk about consistency. Scott PANCHIK, consistency. And this took, the way it was set up, it took the specialist part out of Josh, and it was all about consistency and who was consistent through the handstands and who was consistent through the cleans. And wow, Scott nailed it.